Hi, my name's Lucy. I am currently 22 years old. I just graduated from college in May, and I'm currently on my debt payoff journey, trying to pay off what was $57,000 worth of debt. So, this is the first video on this installation, and I hope you enjoy. So, as an overview, this is my budget tracker. In this section, this is how much income I have or how much money I have saved. So, payroll, my assets, like my checking account, my savings account slash cash, and my 401k slash retirement funds. Then this is my liabilities or all my debt. So I have student loans, any other loans, so a car loan, and then credit cards. And then finally, this is how much I spend every month. So, yes, and then I have a couple charts. Also, I have how much what I spend everything on. And finally, a section for my budget versus my actual spend so that I can track how much I'm spending and if I'm overspending, what I should and shouldn't be spending on, things like that. So, to start off, like I said, I just graduated in May and I started my first full-time job in July. So I have been paying off all the debt that I have for 3 months, but I have a lot of it. So let's go into an overview. So I started off the year with $41,358 of student loan debt, which is a lot, a lot. In my first year of college, it was COVID time, 2020, and I had to take out $17,000 at a 6.89% interest rate. At the start of the year, I've been paying that down steadily, and at the start of the year, it's currently around 11,430, and now it's about 10,843 because I'm paying the minimums on that. My second loan that I took out was a federal student loan subsidized, so there was no interest accruing, thankfully, at 3.73, and that is in a grace period until November. So I have not been paying anything off that, but it has not been accruing any interest. And then finally, the granddaddy of loans. I went to graduate school for my final year of college, and I got my master's degree. That was 1 year, and I had to take out $25,000 for that. And so that's $25,000 at 8.14%, which is massive, massive, massive. And so that is the first loan that's getting paid down. I'm doing the avalanche method, I believe it is. I'm going to pay off my biggest interest first, so I can save money on that and then put that towards my next interest. Luckily for me, it worked out that the biggest total is also the biggest interest, so I can just pay those down consecutively. I also bought a car last year because I needed one to go from work to school and from home to work, etc., etc. And so, as of right now, at the end of September, my total student loans are around 27,876. My car is 10,534, and my credit card is $10,867.46. So that looks like a lot. But don't worry, these credit cards are 0% interest. I took them out because I wanted to go on a trip for graduation in May, which I know is really bad. I hadn't been on a trip for the 5 years that I was in college, and I really wanted to go somewhere and do something. So I did take out the credit cards. I will pay them back before the 0% period expires, so I'm not too worried about that. Also, I'm not spending this much money on credit cards. Like, these are really large jumps. I have work trips that I take that I sometimes need to put on my credit card, and I do get reimbursed for that. But currently, I'm using the reimbursements to pay off debt because the credit cards are 0% interest. So, though it looks like I'm spending a lot of money, I'm actually not. Most of this is me paying for work trips out of pocket and then getting reimbursed, but not putting the reimbursement back on the credit card, if that makes any sense. This is just a way so I can pay off my loans quicker and then save more money in the long run. So in total, I have about $49,000 worth of debt, which is a lot of money, but it is down a lot from the $57,000 that I started my debt payoff journey with. I have been working since July, so I've only started 3 months worth of payoff. This is my the end of the third month. Um, I got 2 paychecks in July, 2 paychecks in August, and 2 paychecks in September. So yes, so I paid off a lot on my biggest loan. So it's down from $24,000 to $11,534, which is a lot decreased. But I can say that it is very tough. It's very tough to pay these off. Um, Over here, you can see my budget. So so this month I had a reimbursement from a security deposit, but usually my budget looks like this. So for most of the months, I make around $4,900 a month, and of that, $4,400 goes towards the debt I have to pay off. And so I'm really hitting those hard, but it's really tough to stay motivated because other than that, savings, I have $18, and that goes towards any medicines I have to buy, like supplements, things like that. Savings, I am putting $100 towards savings, so $50 bi-weekly for every paycheck. And I don't touch that either, so that's just $100 sitting in my savings account as of kind of like an emergency fund. I do pay for some subscriptions. I could cut those out, but those bring me some kind of joy in life, so I'd want to keep them. And then finally, there's transportation. This is just gas. I pay $200 worth of gas to work every month, which is a lot of money. And it does say I have some left over, but usually any leftover money that I have goes towards debt as well. So, as a kind of schedule, I tried to plan out what I would be paying and how long it would take me to pay them off to make sure that I'm reaching my 0% dates on time and not doing anything bad, essentially. So I should be finished paying off my biggest loan in December of this year. I'm hoping by the second week of December, I should be done. My next loan, I should hope to be paid off by March of next year or sooner. And then finally, my car loan should be paid off by the end of May. And that's because I do have to pay off 2 credit cards at that middle stage. So this is just making sure that I have all that money. These numbers are a bit off from what I will have, but the months should still be the same essentially. So hopefully, in all, I should be finished paying off all of my 0% debt by July of 2026, and then all of my credit cards and everything should be fully paid off by September of 2026. And so that is 1 year's journey, 1 year and a couple months, 1 year and 3 months to be exact. And I should be done paying off my debt. So that's just my introduction of what debt I'm paying off, how much of it I have, and what I'm trying to do to pay that off. So yeah. And here's my net worth tracker. Obviously, we haven't reached November and December yet. We actually haven't reached October yet, but it is what it is. So as you can see, since July, there's been a steady increase going up. And so I hope to pay off all of that debt by this time next year. And I hope you guys follow along and enjoy me struggling, essentially. Alright, so thank you for listening, and have a good day. Bye.